Hi everyone, my name is Ken, and today I'm going to talk about what is machine learning and how machine learning works. So, in everyday life, people learn and gain knowledge every day, right? You may have heard this word before, machine learning. It sounds complicated, but don't worry. I will explain it step by step in a fun and simple way. So, for this project, I'm making a video, but it's not just one long video. I break this long video into segments, parts by parts. Each chapter focuses on one part of machine learning. So this makes users, which is you guys, easy to understand and more fun to watch. So let's begin. So before we start, let me show you a short clip about how experts define machine learning and how it works. Yeah, let's begin.
Teach a computer how to perform, not explicitly programming it to perform said task. Instead, feed data into an algorithm to gradually improve outcomes with experience, similar to how organic life learns. The term was coined in 1959 by Arthur Samuel at IBM, who was developing artificial intelligence that could play checkers. Half a century later, and predictive models are embedded in many of the products we use every day, which perform two fundamental jobs. One is to classify data, like is there another car on the road, or does this patient have cancer? The other is to make predictions about future outcomes, like will this stock go up, or which YouTube video do you want to watch next? The first step in the process is to acquire and clean up data. Lots and lots of data. The better the data represents the problem, the better the results. Garbage in, garbage out. The data needs to have some kind of signal to be valuable to the algorithm for making predictions. And data scientists perform a job called feature engineering to transform raw data into features that better represent the underlying problem. The next step is to separate the data into a training set and testing set. The training data is fed into an algorithm to build a model. Then the testing data is used to validate the accuracy or error of the model. The next step is to choose an algorithm, which might be a simple statistical model like linear or logistic regression, or a decision tree that assigns different weights to features in the data. Or you might get fancy with a convolutional neural network, which is an algorithm that also assigns weights to features, but also takes the input data and creates additional features automatically. And that's extremely useful for data sets that contain things like images or natural language, where manual feature engineering is virtually impossible. Every one of these algorithms learns to get better by comparing its predictions to an error function. If it's a classification problem, like is this animal a cat or a dog, the error function might be accuracy. If it's a regression problem, like how much will a loaf of bread cost next year, then it might be mean absolute error. Python is the language of choice among data scientists, but R and Julia are also popular options, and there are many supporting frameworks out there to make the process approachable. The end result of the machine learning process is a model, which is just a file that takes some input data in the same shape that it was trained on, then spits out a prediction that tries to minimize the error that it was optimized for. It can then be embedded on an actual device or deployed to the cloud to build a real-world product. This has been machine learning in 100 seconds. Like and subscribe if you want to see more short videos like this, and leave a comment if you want to see more machine learning content on this channel. Thanks for watching, and I will see.
Chapter 1. What is machine learning? Do you realize recently when users enters a question inside the Google search bar, this one, AI overview, appears at the first view. So why? So because AI overview, it learns from big data and integrates key data to summarize it for users. So when users want to search information, AI overview will appear at the first page, which is mostly at the top. And then other websites such as Cambridge Dictionary or other websites which most relates appears at the second. So in my own words, machine learning means a computer learns from data, just like human can learn from experience. For example, when you watch a lot of action movies on Netflix, the app starts to recommend similar movies to you, and that's machine learning. Can you think of another app that does the same? I'll give you 3 seconds. Boom, that's right. TikTok. TikTok functions similar to Netflix. So, it's not magic. It's about using past data to make smart guesses in the future. Thank you. Chapter 2, Types of Machine Learning. So there are mainly two types of machine learning I want to talk about. So first is supervised machine learning. Second is unsupervised machine learning. So what is supervised machine learning? This means the computer can learn with the help of labeled data. It's like giving the machine many pictures of cats and dogs and telling which is better. So kind of like let the computer compare between each other. Later, it can recognize a new picture all by itself. So first they gather the data, and then they summarize the data, and then when the users questions the machine or AI, it can quickly give you the right answer. So here's a picture of supervised learning, and here's unsupervised learning. So unsupervised machine learning is when the machine tries to find patterns in the data without any labels. For example, it might group people into different types based on what they watch online, even without knowing their names or interests. So this is unsupervised learning. Input data is unlabeled, no feedback mechanism. Assign properties of given data to classify it, divide, and use for analysis, and the algorithm included. So here's two tables. Yeah. Chapter 3. Let's talk about how machine learning works. Step 1. We collect data. This data can be text, numbers, images, or sounds. Step 2. We send the information, data, or examples to the computer or the AI. Third, the AI gains the data and analyzes the data we give. They collect the data together into one piece. It will break it down step by step. So, fourth, it builds a model. The model helps the computer make decisions or predictions. Fifth, prediction. We predict what will the data reflect on us or transform the information back to us. Sixth, decision making. We determine if the computer reflects the answer correct or not. And then this is the fourth step of how machine learning works. If we think the computer reflects the question as a no, which means that the computer itself will reflect on himself again, and next time maybe he will change the answer into a better way. Yeah. So this is a machine learning cycle. It's just kind of like teaching a student. The more questions you give to the student, the more practice the student take, the better the student became. If you give the student the wrong concept or the wrong questions, then the student will misunderstand that concept and fail the test. Chapter 4, real-world examples. So now I will give you some examples of what happens in real life about how machine learning works and how it applies and reflects to human beings all around the world. So, as you know, machine learning is used for everyone today. For example, Netflix uses it to recommend shows and movies. TikTok gives you what you want, like short videos or even pictures. Siri and other voice assistants use it to understand your voice, such as Apple Intelligence and Siri, or other like Harmony OS for Huawei. Banks use it to find out if someone is using your credit card in a strange way. That helps stop fraud. So these are just a few examples, but there are many more. So chapter 5, why it's important? Machine learning is changing the world. It helps people make faster and better decisions. For companies, it saves money and makes things more efficient. For people, it makes life easier. In the future, it will be used even more in health, education, safety, and even more. Chapter 6, how I made this video. For my project, I used bright and clean visuals, as you can see. I also made short animations to show how much machine learning works. I wanted my video to be fun, but not boring. But even though I read the script throughout the whole time, I hope that everyone can understand, even if they don't know anything about coding or technology. Thank you for watching my video and listening to my explanation. I wish you have a good time. Thank you.